Okay, good afternoon to all of you. I'm Stelios Gkiouzepas. I'm a clinical psychologist. I'm the scientific director of our Go Alternative Therapeutic program based here in the city of Thessaloniki. And I have the honor to moderate this session regarding multidisciplinary approaches in substance use disorders and co-occurring disorders. I first of all want to thank you for attending this table and this session. I know the time, it's not a very good time. In Greece we do also have the so-called siesta. During the summer it's also too hot. So I would like to thank you for being here, attending this table and these presentations as we come at the last time of this beautiful congress. I would like to call and give the floor to Mrs. Caroline Pereira. Caroline Pereira is professor at the School of Nursing of the University of Sao Paulo and member of the Center for Nursing Studies and Research in Addictions, Alcohol and Other Drugs. So Caroline, you have the floor.
Okay, now it's better. Hi everyone. I would like to say thank you for the organizers to give me this opportunity to share with you all my work and the research that I have been doing in my country. So it's really important for us. And I'm really excited to talk about the interpersonal theory for anxiety management in people with substance use disorders. So this is a theoretical framework that we developed in Brazil. So this is the university that I have been working in, University of São Paulo. So currently I am an associate professor in the University of São Paulo. So in these sessions I will provide an overview of anxiety and the comorbidity. I will describe the construction of the interpersonal theory for anxiety management in people with substance use disorders, and we call this theory as ITA-30. And I will discuss the importance of a theoretical approach. So, as all you know, anxiety is the most prevalent problem worldwide. And anxiety generates health, economic, and social costs. And a lot of clinical reviews have seen that anxiety is a risk factor to mood and substance use disorders. So when you combine anxiety and substance use disorders, we have a complicated treatment prognosis. And the treatment for substance use disorders, mainly in outpatient facilities, there are a high level of dropout during treatment, so it's a big issue to keep clients on the treatment. And one way to keep them on the treatment is address anxiety. So when you address anxiety, you can keep them most in the treatment. So how we can do this? For do this, we can talk with the patient and to say for him to be aware of anxiety. So one way to be aware of anxiety and to do identification, to do modification, and to replacement of the relief behaviors. So this, you can do this only if you know how anxiety works and what is anxiety. So we as a nurse use the psychodynamic approach. The psychodynamic approach was developed by Peplaus. Peplaus is the first nurse in the psychiatric and mental health that developed a theory. So the theory, the name is Interpersonal Theory of Nursing. And this theory guides us in a therapeutic relation. The key from this theory is the anxiety. So it is really important for nurses to know your own anxiety when you are in a therapeutic relationship, as we know the anxiety of the clients. So the methodology that we use to develop this intervention and this theoretical framework was the CTE. Who talks about this methodologist, Jacqueline Fawcett, and we will, in the first step, describe the phenomenon of the study. So we'll describe the anxiety based on conceptual model. The second step, we talk about the development of a theoretical framework of anxiety for substance use disorders. And after this, we are talking about the relational propositions, and we'll have the empirical structure. So we'll create the empirical structure to be sure if the determinants it's okay or not. So we will identify the determinants that play a role in anxiety in substance use disorders. So the first step that we have to know is what is anxiety. So anxiety is a tension that provides energy transformation. And anxiety can be experienced in three modes. So the prototaxi mode, the parataxi mode, and the syntaxi mode. And each mode we can have a response. So you have a physiological response and you have a behavioral response as well. And the behavioral response we call as relief behaviors, relief patterns, and self-transformation. So the step 2 from this methodology is the theoretical framework of anxiety. As we can see, this is the theoretical model of anxiety. So, as I already said, anxiety is a tension that is experiencing three different modes. So the prototaxi mode is when you are unaware of anxiety. The parataxi mode is when you are aware of anxiety. And the syntaxi mode is when you are aware of anxiety. And you can apply this to identify the relief behaviors that you use to decrease anxiety. So it's this place that we are talking about substance use disorders. Because substance use disorders is a relief behaviors that people use to decrease anxiety. So the manifestation, having this manifestation provide physiological and behavioral responses. The severity of anxiety, you can have high levels of anxiety and panic, moderate anxiety, and you have mild anxiety. The determinants of anxiety in this theoretical framework are self, relation, triggers, and security operations. So the consequences of high level of anxiety is a rigid performance in interpersonal relations. It's loneliness, that this loneliness affects the self-esteem of the patient. And the development of a complicated security operations. So when these security operations that we are know is the relief behaviors, so is the use of substance. And we can go to the substance use disorders as relief patterns. So this is step 3, is the relational propositions that we did in this theoretical framework. So we have loneliness that came from the lack of relation. So when you are lonely, you have increase of the stress, and you increase the anxiety. And to decrease the anxiety that you are feeling, that as I know is a tension, you have to do relief behaviors. So you always do relief behaviors. So you have good relief behaviors and you have bad relief behaviors. One of bad relief behaviors is the use of substance. And there are good relief behaviors, I could say exercise or read a book or something this way to decrease the anxiety. So for working with the substance use and in these relational propositions, nurses use the ITA-SUD, that is the theoretical framework that we created. And the ITA-SUD, through the ITA-SUD, you can decrease the triggers, you can decrease the anxiety, and you can decrease the bad relief behaviors. When you decrease anxiety, you increase the self-efficacy of the client, and you increase the good relations that the client will start to establish. So this is the relational model that we create. So in the middle, you can see the relational propositions that is going on in the theoretical framework. This is the empirical structure. So how we can ensure that this works? So for this, we use scales to measure each determinants. In the theoretical framework that we create, that is we call ITA-SUD, we use the GSA, the scale GSA to measure self-efficacy, the scale MOS to measure relation, the scale PSS to measure triggers, and the scale Gkiouzepas to measure the level of anxiety, and the scale ASSIST to measure the substance use. Okay. So this is the theoretical approach that we're using. We developed the ITA-SUD based on the two middle-range descriptive theory. So we use the Pepau's theory and Sullivan's theory to create the middle-range explanatory theory that it is the ITA-SUD. I created it together with Linda Bieber from UNC University. I think I have to finish my presentation, but I think it's really important to talk about why develop a theoretical framework. So when you develop a theoretical framework, it provides a deeper understanding of anxiety and how it affects the treatment of substance use disorders. You can see the relational propositions, and these relational propositions can fit in daily health care provided by nurses in multiple health facilities. So we can apply this since the primary health care until the specialized health care. And when using the theoretical concepts, guide nurses on the constructions of interventions. So it's important, before you start to do intervention, you know what is the framework that you are using this intervention. And I went with the title of this session. It's about multidisciplinary approach. So it's really necessary as a nurse to know your own discipline. So when you know your own discipline, you can do multidisciplinary approach. We can work with other disciplines. So because of this, I think it's really important to know a theoretical framework. So this is the references that I used to develop the presentation. This is the paper that I published about the theoretical framework. So I think you can read all the things when we get this. And this is my name and my email. If you have any questions, we can send as well. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Caroline, for being accurate in the time, and regarding your very interesting approach, how managing and addressing anxiety we can facilitate our clients to remain in our therapeutic services. I will now give the floor to Mrs. Irene Tsalera from Gkiouzepas, from Greece. She will present her work regarding Stanislavski Method. You have the floor.
Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to Greece and Thessaloniki. before I start my presentation about the connection between theatrical method of Stanislavski and the treatment of mental addiction, I want to show you some things about Kefeain Drasi, because it's very important to realize the special needs, specific features of the target group of this program. Sometimes I have good English, sometimes, some days I don't have. I don't know which day is today, but I will try. Okay, I will be performative because my issue is a little bit practical. So, do you hear me? Okay. Kefeain Drasi operates, no, okay. Kefeain Drasi, okay. Kefeain Drasi provides services inside and outside of prison system. So, we are a large program. We have counsel unit in Korydallos, in men. It is the largest prison in Greece for men. We have counseling unit, a therapeutic community there in a specific space provided from the government. Okay, we have the same in Korydallos for women, and in Thebes, in the city of Thebes, it is the largest prison in Greece for women. So, we have Korydallos, men, women, Thebes for women. We have a counseling unit in psychiatrical hospital, and in the hospital for the prisoners who have HIV. So we have counseling units in Amphissa and Malandrino. There are about 350 kilometers from Athens, and we have counseling units in Avlona about the adolescents, the minor offenders. And what happens when they are released? Because I think that the prison is something easier, because we all say, oh, it's not good to be in the prison, or we have to give them all we can for help them. But then, the most difficult thing is how we can help them when they are released. So, in Athens, we have a residence for rehabilitation for the prisoners who are released. Drug users or ex-drug users who want to continue their treatment of mental addiction or to start treatment of mental addiction. We promote holistic services because it's very difficult. They want job, they want home, they want families, they want money, they want lawyer, they want education and all this. We offer them all this, but still it's very difficult for them. Now, I will show you the stages of dependence corresponding to the stages of mental addiction, not because you don't know all this, because I wanted to connect it with the emotions of Stanislavski, because the basic thing in Stanislavski is the emotion. Okay, so we start from childhood. A kid has feelings, thoughts, behavior, but sometimes he lives in a chaos because his family, because he's invisible from his family, not because he doesn't love him, because they work all the time, resulting in not paying attention to the kids. And then he feels loneliness, he has lack of meaning, he feels cancer, pain, so he can't feel the emotion. There is nobody for him or for her to teach him, to educate him how he manages the happiness, the sadness, or all the emotions we have when we're kids. Okay. He can't express his thoughts, his feelings. it's very difficult. Their families, you know, they have many difficulties, so dependence too, violence, many problems. So we have to pay attention to this. So, there are unfulfilled goals, unfulfilled wishes. Where is satisfaction? It's emotion. Where is satisfaction? Satisfaction maybe is in drug use, in drugs. Okay. He's not helped by his family, so he tests himself and he feels disappointed, cancer, resignation, because he doesn't know if he is good in something. So, for relief from the pain, because he has not self-esteem, loss of confidence, is use substances. You know, all of you know. So, the path from treatment, for the treatment of mental addiction, operates vice versa. There are questions. Who am I? Why is this? With whom I will feel secure? Where am I? All these questions need to have an answer. But first of all, we have to feel what is going with our emotions. So, you all know, therapeutic intervention is security. Security to express the feelings and the thoughts through activities. We give them 5 minutes. My God, no. We give them increase their confidence and too fast. And as you all know, we increase self-esteem. What is happening now with Stanislavski? Stanislavski says that how we can play a role, because a role is not something in the theory, it's something that has experiences, has feelings. So, how can play a role? I am in my home and I want to play in 5 o'clock, I have rehearsal, and I want to play a role. How I can do it? I can do it with body activities who are feeds emotion. So I have activities in body with tensity, and then they feed emotion, and then the emotion feeds the movement, and all this matches the movement, the right movement with the right emotion. So I can live the role because the role is experiences. That is, this is the circumstances of Stanislavski's system. I think I don't have much time to discuss it, but I want to say something about magic if our members, they don't know who they are. If I have a talent, if I have school, if I have a good parents, if all their life is one if. So Stanislavski is very important for them. So the movement is called training by Dimitris Economou. There are repetitive movements with changes of rhythm, like something like I'm doing like, and the emotion is different from this. So you feed the emotion with the intensity you need for the role. Okay? And too fast. Okay. What I did, we have a performance in the prisons of Korydallos with the men and with the women in the videos. I wanted to have a performance not with the prisoners, not with the tearful stories about them. I wanted to have a performance that will be a connection between the audience and the prisoners, because we are all the same. I didn't want to say something like prison, drugs, and all this. No. I asked for them, I requested three songs and three histories for each song. Stories about them, about her parents, her friends, not for drugs, not for prisons. Okay, so gradually we had a monologue theatrical, without prison, without something good, with good memories. And then this helped their esteem, self-esteem, because they started to realize that as the role, that the formation of the personality of the role has influenced by their experience, it's the same with the members. They realize that as the role, the experience they had influenced their life, and in the conditions in which they were lived, in a large extent, create the conditions to be dependent by substances and to delinquency. So I think it's very good. I don't have time, but it's not. We can't have this system only for the theater. We have to discuss with therapists, with the social workers, because the most important work is theirs, not mine. But I like to do it because I help my colleagues, I help my members, and I know how to do it very, very well. The other problems have to be managed by the therapists. Thank you.
Thank you, Irene, for presenting your excellent work regarding Stanislavski Method in Gkiouzepas and Drasi. We will proceed with our next colleague. Thi Vu is a current PhD student in Brandeis University and has over 18 years of experience leading addiction treatment programs in Vietnam. The floor is yours. Thi Vu. You can change the slides, but the pointer.
Yeah. Thank you for the introduction. I'm glad to be here to share with you research I conduct with my colleague in Vietnam about intervention to reduce the risk of chemsex behavior among men have sex with men in Vietnam and pilot intervention. I will present my presentation group divided into four parts. One, I will give you background information about HIV and substance abuse in Vietnam, and the second part is our method and the sampling and the result and recommendation and conclusion. Thank you. Before I start, I would like to share with you about HIV in Vietnam. Currently in Vietnam, 250,000 of people living with HIV in Vietnam. And Ho Chi Minh City, where I come from, 1/3 of people living with HIV in Ho Chi Minh City. And HIV is still concentrated in the high-risk population like injecting drug user, men have sex with men, gender women, and people, sex worker. In 2020, nearly the half of new diagnosed, new case of HIV among men have sex with men. And among young population, HIV prevalence increased significantly, like for the 3% in 2011 to over 10% in 2021. And so, we actually, what is the underlying reason why we put a lot of money in our HIV program in men and women, but we cannot control NIV, and that is why we came with the Chemsex. And before to go to detail, I want to give you a little bit on the definition of the Chemsex. If you can see in another literature, you can see another term like hyphen, chemfun, but a couple definition. The first definition is using substance before or during sexual activity to enhance of the sexual experience. And another definition is the same, but they include the alcohol and another tobacco. But our research, because we focus on harm reduction, we include alcohol in our research. So why people engage in Chemsex? In the literature, there is three main reasons for people engage in Chemsex. The first reason is for fun. The second reason for forgetting. And the third reason is for function. For the fun, they want to have the better sex, increase the immunity, and for the forgetting, they deal with mental health, and like the same with their sexual. Even they engage in the Chemsex, but they feel that they broken the norm of the society, or they face with stigma and discrimination. For the function, there are many literature they mention that people engage in Chemsex because of they want to deal with they want to reduce the painful during the sexual activity or craving. And I want to use the quote, one of the qualitative interview, they mentioned that drugs are not a problem, but drugs are the solution for the problem. And we need to understand why people do it. And Chemsex is related with health problem. First, they increase the risk of HIV and other sexual transmitted disease. And because people in Chemsex under influence of the drug, they often forget to engage in drug sex and sex with people they don't know, or some aggressive behavior. And there's some literature review in Europe, they mention about, they often say of the ejected equipment and people, another bit, they call like slamming. And because they under influence of substance, they often forget to use medication like ROV or PrEP, and they also negative in their mental health and reduce the quality of life. Our study is, there are two aims of our study. We want to evaluation of effectiveness of risk reduction about Chemsex in the substance use or high risk behavior. And we want to compare between the Chemsex screening and risk intervention, and another the two screening and risk intervention. Add more with the test method. I will explain more in next slide. We conducted the study in 2020 in Ho Chi Minh City with over 740 men and women who engage in Chemsex and living with living in Ho Chi Minh City. And we work with community-based organizations who are working with MSM already, and they help us to provide. We provide for them the training, and they help us to provide a brief intervention. And we compare in two groups. One group is only receive the screening and brief intervention, and another group is combined between Chemsex screening and brief intervention and test method. I will go very quick for the Chemsex screening brief intervention. Some section they mentioned about in the conference already about this tool. They developed by WHO, and they have they will know after the screening, we will know whether this person in the low risk or moderate risk or high risk, and based on score, and after that we provide the quick intervention. For the test method, we send 3 test methods per week for the study participants who are in the group of test method on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And for the test method focused on Chemsex, we often send on 5-day afternoon because we think that people more engaged during the weekend. There are some procedure we bought in our website and for the people who cook after drip intervention and private organization they can give for the people. And here our result. And the median of the age is very young, and the half of them is under 25 years old, and they have high education like Philip High School or some education, and the STI about 25% and HIV boosted it over 10%, and 31% they engage in group sex, and 2/3 of them have a sexual intercourse with regular partner or casual partner, and 44% of them have a regular partner, and over 85% they have a casual partner, over two partner. And if you can see in this line, and the intervention it works to reduce they increase the condom use for both regular partner or casual partner. And how about the Chemsex? And this table, they mentioned that the intervention is reduced for the number of days of the use Chemsex for last 20 days. For pre-intervention is 5 days, but the both intervention is 3 days per last 20 days. And also reducing the reduction in group sex, especially for those who are heavy of the Chemsex. And the reason why people engage in Chemsex, our study is not different from another country. People engage in Chemsex for fun, like increase of sexual desire, or they feel with the anxiety, like they feel like reduce the anxiety during the sexual activity, or they deal with the painful during the sexual activity. And the substance used in the Chemsex, if you can see in this slide, the more popular substance used during the Chemsex is the alcohol and popper. The third popular is methamphetamine. And there is the review of substance used in popper or alcohol, but not much in methamphetamine and another substance. As you can see that many of people who engage in Chemsex, they are polyrub users. They use 2 or 3 substances, not only one. But our intervention to reduce the polyrub use, especially among those who use 2 substances. And this one also detail on it, we don't go into detail. And this one is factor influence of condom sex behavior, because we more focus on HIV, and if you can see that we are very worried about it, because people who are on STI positive, they less likely to use to compare with those who don't know about their status or they don't have STI. It's the same with HIV person. Those who live in positive with HIV, they less likely to use condom during the concept, to compare with those who don't know or they HIV negative. But those who use REP, they more likely to use condom for those who don't have REP. And about combination between the two interventions, on how we study that overall the intervention it works to reduce of the substance use or habit behavior, but there is no difference between two interventions. There are a number of limited of our study, very short-term intervention, just 3 months, and we don't, at 3 months, and we don't have much time to wait for the own participant to compare a random of the two intervention group. For the conclusion and recommendation, and the research indicated that intervention work to reduce the risk behavior among men who have sex with men, free and both intervention. But there is no significant we found between two groups of the intervention. And we think that we need to further research, we need to assess the effectiveness of the intervention. And I think that this is very new and it's very popular in Vietnam and Southeast Asia, and we need to develop more tailored intervention for this population have potential to increase the outcome of HIV and substance treatment care intervention effort. And here is some picture of our research and the people in the community. And there I would like to thank for those who involved and support our research. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Vivu, for your excellent work regarding a contemporary problem of chemsex behavior between men having sex with other men, an upcoming problem in my country, Greece. And your work is a very good path for us, how we can deal with that upcoming phenomenon in my country. The next presenter is again from Vietnam, but from Hanoi. No? It's Quang Anh Mai, who is an LGBTQ plus member, a compassionate advocate and a social worker who has dedicated more than 30 years to transform work in addiction. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for still remaining with us. So my name is Quang Anh Mai, and I would like to share with you a model that we have been implementing in Hanoi to support for vulnerable people in our country for quite a long time. So it is a collaborative model for addressing substance use among PrEP clients. So in this presentation, I would like to present three parts. The first one is introduction of participating organizations. The second one is collaborative model. And the last one is outcome and lesson learned from our program. So the first organizations that take part in our models is the Sexual Health Promotion Clinic that under Hanoi Medical University Hospital. So this is a community and academic organizations. It has a goal to create high quality and friendly healthcare services and also deliver evidence-based intervention to serve vulnerable populations in Vietnam, and also become a national center of excellence in research with MSM and transgender women, conducting clinical and community-based studies in integrated health issues, and serve as a learning site for Hanoi Medical University students, and also build a collaborative network with community-based organizations and also members of LGBTQI community in Vietnam. So as you can see here, there are several key milestones of the SST clinic in research and also intervention during the last 12 years. And the clinic was established in 2012. And we start providing PrEP in 2019, and until May of 2024, we provide PrEP for 5,500 clients in Hanoi. And the second organization that take part in the program is We Care Social Enterprise. So it is a community-based and youth organizations. This organization works to advocate for comprehensive care, implementing research and also community work, and enhance healthcare inclusivity for all. And there are several key areas that the We Care Social Enterprise they are working on. And here is a key part of my presentation today. It is a collaborative model, the integration of SUD services into PrEP provision program. So it is a collaboration between the Sexual Health Promotion Clinic and the community-based organization to provide a comprehensive healthcare package for underserved populations, focusing on gay men and also transgender women in Hanoi. And while we care is responsible for leading outreach and communication, the SSP clinic implements the one-stop shop model at the clinic site. The PrEP provision is the core component, focusing on MSM and transgender women in Hanoi. The model has integrated mental health, addiction screening and intervention at the SSP clinic and also at the community to meet the needs of underserved population. So at the community level, WeCare is responsible for outreach and communication. They have implemented different outreach and communication strategies to recruit people to join our program. So we have a collaborate with community-based organization, service providers, and also we work on the social platform to recruit individuals with sexual and mental health needs, including those dealing with substance misuse. And also we implement both online and offline communication strategies, like we create different products as you can see here, and also we organize different events, and also we have a talk show, and also we have a TikTok campaigns, very diverse strategies to reach to people with high risk with HIV and also addiction. So as you can see here, we have a bus and we have a poster on the bus, and also we have a poster at the bus stop, and we design different kind of bag, helmet, umbrella to give for the participant to attract more people to join us. And also we work with many online influencers to share and also to discuss about our programs based on different topics. And we also organize different community events at the CBOs and also universities and also in the public to introduce about comprehensive package that we have to the broader community. And also we directly provide our services at the community site. We implement mobile PrEP at the CBO office and also at the sauna where the MSM and also transgender women, they often come to, to use the services. And also we provide the PrEP at the community site. So as you can see here, we have a doctor working at the sauna, and also we have the outreach worker and also social worker who provide the PrEP medication and also different kind of services at the CBO and also at the services areas. And then we after through diverse outreach efforts, so individuals with healthcare needs, we will refer to the SSP clinic and also healthcare facilities in Hanoi for PrEP and also for essential services. So when people who come to our clinic site, we provide a comprehensive package for people. Like the PrEP is a key component of our programs, and also we have a sub-services like HIV screening and treatment, mental health care, sexual health consultation for MSM. We also integrate the Chemsex and SUD counseling, and also we provide the STI screening and treatment, and also we provide the linkage healthcare services at the Hanoi Medical University Hospital for other needs of the participants. And why do we need to integrate the Chemsex and Chemsex services into PrEP programs? As you just listen to the Miss V presentation, you can see that MSM in Vietnam and also transgender women, they have a different kind of risk like HIV, STI, substance use, and they are at very high risk of committing the HIV and also using the substance. So that is the reason why we try to, provide more services, integrate more services in our package. So as you can see here, just like several evidence that we collected, like MSM is a high level of substance use and also sexual risk behavior. 95% of the PrEP clients at our clinic, they are MSM. And some recent report in Vietnam indicate that 40% to 60% of respondents experience Chemsex. So here's like some picture of dating apps in Vietnam, and also the poster that introduce about the program that we provide to our community. So in the Chemsex service integration, so new PrEP or reinitiate PrEP clients will be introduced to join our program. And also we use the ASIS toolkits for the streamlined screening, and also we try to identify clients at risk of substance use and also provide appropriate support. And also we provide brief intervention and referrals for people who are taking drugs and who want to get some kind of services. And during our program, we got the support from Center for Training and Research on Substance Abuse and HIV. They offer us with the technical support, like the training on the expert framework, and also ongoing guidance and also supervision for our program. And also they support us to access to the resources and also expertise in addressing the complex cases. And also this support ensure that the successful of our implementation of the intervention process. And here's some outcome of our program. So as you can see, this data that we collect from May 2019 until December of 2023. So we got 4,944 PrEP clients, and we found out around 400 HIV positive cases, and also like many. There are several data of the STIs, percent of people who have a syphilis or maybe like Hep B and Hep C in our programs. And also in 2023, we can successfully connect 960 new PrEP clients to join the PrEP programs. And this data collected at both the community site and also at the SSP clinic. So 45.3% of clients underwent screening ATS at both community and at the clinic. 34.9% they disclose that they experience with substance use, including alcohol, synthetic drugs, and also they refer to receive the intervention. And 5.9% they receive the special treatment for methamphetamine and stimulant misuse. And also we do the client satisfaction form that based on the website Zalo. Zalo is kind of WhatsApp. Here I think everybody know. And also QR code we provide for participants, and also we have a tablet at our clinic. So for all the participants who come to use our services, we will show them the client satisfaction form so they can give us a feedback to improve our quality at the clinic. So as you can see, like most people, they really totally satisfied with our services. And also in the red color, you can see people, they feel satisfied with the services. And also at the green color, people feel natural. And also at the purple, very small percent, it's like the number of participants, they are not really happy with our program. So we always look at their feedback and different areas what we should to improve to make our services more comprehensive and also inclusive to support our community. So there are several lessons learned from our program. So what do we hope for the future? So we want to replicate our model to other healthcare facilities in Vietnam for more significant impacts on both HIV and addiction. And here's some lessons learned that we want to share with you, recognizing the interconnectedness of health issues and also the need for holistic care is vital. And collaboration with the diverse stakeholders strengthens impact and also sustainability. And integrating substance use and mental health screening into the PrEP programs allow for early intervention and also timely intervention for the client at risk. And the last one is the importance of ongoing monitoring, evaluation, and learning. And thank you very much. And here we have some picture of our team. I really appreciate because they are working so hard for this program in the last 12 years. Thank you. And if you have any question, please contact me and also our organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Quang, for your excellent presentation regarding the use of PrEP program at the Sexual Health Promotion Clinic in Hanoi. So, our last presenter is Boro Goic, who, after successfully completing rehabilitation, has been involved actively in the field of drug addiction since 2004. And nowadays is the chairman of Recovered Users Network in Bosnia and Herzegovina, especially at Sarajevo, no? The floor is yours, Boro.
Working. Thank you for your kind introduction. I hope we have a little bit more power to stay awake and hear it after prisons and Chemsex. We will go back to recovery. So it will be good as we are not so many people in the audience. How many of you knows what recovery really is? Are we at all thinking about that process? What is involved inside of recovery? So, I have a feeling in the last period we are talking a lot about that, but nobody is going a little bit deeply. And okay, I'm not expecting from all of professionals to think about that. Somebody is working in prevention, somebody is working in treatment, in some kind of areas where people are not so much involved with the people who are seeking for help. But basically, among organizations who are dealing with recovery, it was not enough common ground about what that really is. So, I do my work in Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in the regional countries, Serbia, Montenegro, but also I made one platform with a few enthusiastic people in 2013 called Recovered Users Network. And what we wanted to do with Recovered Users Network in that period is to ask so many different recovery organizations to join and to see what they are really seeing about recovery, in what directions they see how can recovery end it, and to raise, of course, voice of the people in recovery. So that was our goal in the beginning. To fulfill our activities, we conducted several researches, conferences, etc. And really, after the years, we see development in the common ground that we understand better everybody what recovery is. We didn't make the definitions and said this is a definition and you need to follow. We just been sitting together and having different debates, and from all these debates I see the more influence of the recovery-oriented approach, not only on this conference, that you have a lot of sub-plenary around recovery research or recovery cities, or you possible saw the launch of Global Recovery Network that was on Wednesday. So we have basically more understanding about that everything. So we realized two years ago that we need really to ask organizations and to do some qualitative research and to ask organizations who are involved in recovery, long period, many years, what they are really thinking what recovery is and what elements are crucial that recovery happened. So basically our goal was to facilitate a cohesive approach and to contribute to the development of unified approach, a global position of recovery. So not that one people means this and other people think that. Also to unite voice and raise awareness about that everything, and to have some commitment to work together if we have some common paper for that. So what we did to achieve that? In March 2023, that collaborative process started. In June 2023, we made a survey, and we sent it to 50 different organizations that are recovery-oriented. And let's say those organizations being not organizations that are working 1 or 2 years. It was all the major and known organizations that are really through the work been thinking about that, what recovery is and what all the elements are there. So when we gathered all that 50 completed surveys, we analyzed that and reviewed by the core group of 12 people. We met in Madrid, put everything together. It's a qualitative questionnaires, you know, and we have a lot of different answers. It was for us not so easy. We had the researchers behind us. It was not so easy now from the whole dead sentences, because we asked the questions like, what do you think, what are the biggest challenges in recovery process? What is missing inside of the systems that recovery can flourish? So what for you is really recovery? Is that abstinence, drug-free? Is that something else? Is that the process or is that the stage? So we asked the different questions, and it was a lot of answers. So we need help from the people who are really professionals inside of research field, academics. David West, who was also here, helped us in disseminate that everything and look through all of that. John Kelly from Recovery Research Institute from Boston, Massachusetts helped us and his team. So basically, we looked inside of all that and get to the 3 main pillars of recovery. So this is what emerged from everything. Emerged that recovery is a concept based on strengths, not on weaknesses, not on pathology, on addiction. So it's based on the strengths of a people. Do people have strengths? I hope everybody have. Why that strengths are not visible? People are in addiction. And because the addiction is so high, all that strengths are not visible inside of them. So it's really questionable. Do we treat people to stay in addiction or to get recovered? You know, to erase those strengths from them. Other thing that we realize, it's a huge pillar, it's a barrier. Why recovery doesn't happen sometimes? Why on the recovery process we have people who are entering the recovery process, entering TCs, attending some 12-step groups, going to some counseling, psychotherapy, etc. But on that way they are struggling. Is that only because the addiction is chronic disease we are telling sometimes, or we have barriers? Yes, it's barriers. It's a stigma. It's old-fashioned systems that we are providing. That are many barriers that are stopping us. And also systems. So many organizations said there is something failing inside of system that recovery can flourish. So basically, we produce the narrative around the recovery that everybody can describe. When somebody is asked, what is recovery? We don't need to define it. We can say the recovery is about strength, and recovery is about barriers that doesn't allow recovery to happen, and recovery is about creating systems where recovery can flourish. So what does it mean when we are putting that into the answers? Regarding strength-based concept, and it goes, so recovery is a personalized process. So every individual has different process. Even if it's in the same program, every individual goes through the different phases of the process. Over time, and creating opportunity to allow individuals to build their own recovery capital. Also what was emerged from the answers, that recovery means 5 years and a stable remission. And that means for many people that they are better than well. So if 50 leaders from the 50 different grown organizations is telling us that 5 years it's very important thing. So we need to tailor our programs toward that. That doesn't mean that somebody needs to stay 5 years in the therapeutic communities, but 5 years we need to follow people. After 5 years, it will be again problems, relapsing, it will be everything, but 5 years are very crucial to reach that stable recovery. Also, most individuals that are seeking recovery aspire to resolve their substance dependency and lead drug-free lives. This is always question. Means drug-free recovery, does it mean abstinence? For most of organizations, yes. This is what. But this, however, does not exclude people whose goals are not focused only on abstinence. We don't want to exclude people. People need to find their place inside of the recovery processes. What is about stigma? How to overcome barriers to recovery? So, many organizations said that community needs to implement anti-stigma protocols to create supportive environments by promoting access to positive community resources for people at all stages of recovery processes. Access to treatment is very important, so that beyond substance use treatment, securing housing, employment, education, community assets, health and social support are crucial. So basically people from recovery organizations say addiction is not the only problem. This is not the only problem. Because when we get out of addiction, it's very easy. You finish detox and addiction is not a problem anymore. But where I will live, yeah, who are my social contacts, how can I get better from my health? Everything is problem. Systems. So holistic system, emphasizing community partnership, must foster personalized pathways to recovery to accommodate this changing needs. Also evidence-based recovery. We need the data. And we have data. So there are many people involved because recovery is not only narrative and testimonials. This is very nice, but when we combine testimonials with the evidence-based data, then we are more effective. So basically we are combining this and seeing, what is the difference between behavior in addiction, in the early recovery, first year, after 5 years, what's happening? People are different. People are changing, people are going out of addiction, people are integrating into society with all this, what I'm telling. Funding needs to be a little bit different. So everybody's speaking, we are funding prevention, harm reduction, treatment and recovery. Ask your government how many money is going to prevention, how much to harm reduction, then you will see how much for recovery is funded. This is very important to understand. And one of the things is integration recovery across whole demand reduction. So it should be some strategies that to integrate recovery into harm reduction activities. Is the harm reduction existing only to give a clean needle? Or to somehow engage people to give them some hope to enter different recovery processes when they need. So there are some recommendations that I will not read a lot, but education and training is always important. Quality standards must be established to ensure individuals benefit from constant and effective care methods and models. Also raising awareness initiatives, so it's very important. I think we raised awareness about recovery on this conference. So, after everything was done from the 50 organizations, we disseminate that through all the possible networks. Me through Recovered Users Network, FEDON through European Federation of Therapeutic Communities. So everybody disseminate for the sign. People been reading through that, and if you agree with that sign, if you want, you can use that material with you for different things. So basically, we have more than 650 signatories, 207 organizations, and 424 individuals, not individuals from the street, then recovery allies, people, professionals who are working in the field. 4 observers, it's a UNODC that is standing behind this research too, so they couldn't be signatories, but also Office for Drugs in Serbia and in Croatia who participated inside of that. So we see it from all different continents we have assigned. So this material can be very informative. You can scan the code. You can read it in your organization as an individual. You can sign it. But you can use some kind of material from that. Some definition, something. This is not my voice, this is voice of 50 different organizations who said, what is the main factor in recovery? So, thank you.
Thank you, Boro, for reminding us that one of our ultimate goals when working with people who use drugs ought to be recovery. So, thank you all for your excellent presentations, and I would like to thank you and your colleagues for your excellent work. And I think we have more than 20 minutes for questions, and it's up to you guys to have any remarks. As Irene Tsalera just told me, she needs to leave earlier because she needs to catch her bus back to Athens. So I would like to ask if there are any questions regarding the presentation of Irene about the Stanislavski methods to have a priority, so we can let her free. I can translate in Spanish. Okay. But please slow, poquito, despacito.
Buenas tardes para todos. Soy Marta Suescún y dirijo...
Por favor, un
hola,
poquito más.
Hola. Buenas tardes para todos. Soy Marta Suescún y dirijo un centro de tratamiento en Bogotá, Colombia, que se llama Libérate. Les agradezco a todos sus presentaciones. Excelentes.
¿Se puede repetir su nombre, por favor, una vez más?
Marta Suescún.
From Colombia, ¿no?
Sí.
And your organismo?
Libérate.
Okay.
Les agradezco.
Martha is giving congratulations for all your presentations.
Agradezco a todos la presentación y tengo una pregunta para Boro.
She has one question for Boro.
Boro, por favor, ¿me aclaras la diferencia entre tratamiento y recuperación?
Sí, the question is if you can help her and tell her if there is a difference between recuperation and tratamiento and treatment. Recuperation, recovery, and treatment.
I know. When we've been talking about recovery, we said, okay, recovery understands everybody, but the Spanish-speaking area, which is big on the world, said recuperación, and it's good. This is a very good question. Recovery basically is beginning when the people are asking for help. So during addiction period, we cannot say people are in any kind of recovery process. In that moment, as people are asking for help, and we know this is not an easy thing. So what does it mean, ask for help?
For 1 minute. Martha, you have translator? No. Okay.
No translation?
I will do the translation, okay, in Spanish, but just slowly, so I can interpret in Spanish too, okay? You have translation in Spanish. Okay, thank you.
So you don't need to translate. Okay. So on that moment, when the people who have a problem in addiction ask for some service and wants to be helped, this is a moment where we, not only we, then researchers also count the recovery trajectory is beginning. The recovery process is beginning. That can begin directly asking and going inside of rehab in Ketea. So this is drug-free program. That can begin asking different hospitals to enter some detox program. That can begin asking some counseling center, how can you help me? The bigger things about when the process is starting is how we are treating people inside of that process. What is our response? when the people are asking for help? Do we put them in the treatment that ends or never ends? How is the response? Do we also consider with them that the recovery has different stages and somehow social reintegration into society? It will be the best. So what do we wish for somebody who has a problem for drugs? Quit your problem with drugs, get a job, get your family. It's very easy, you know. We don't need to have some NASA scientific, you know, people from them. So that will be very nice if we can look at every person who is asking for help, that entering the recovery process means to reach their full life potential. For some people that will not be, they are maybe 40 when they are asking first time for help. Okay, so capability for somebody who is 40 and has a 20 years of heroin addiction are different than somebody who is 22 and has a 3 years of amphetamine addiction. Capacities are different. Is our response sometimes different? Should be. Especially treatment. So basically, not to be with the treatment professionals to be on the same page. We need to sit together, and we need to be challenged to have some little bit different therapeutic goals for the people who ask for help. I think this is a problem sometimes. Sometimes I was challenged from the professionals who are working in treatment. Boro, you always, when you talk, you are set very, very high therapeutic goals. So let me know, when you speak with your child, do you set small goals? Don't go to school, you know, don't develop your, or you set a high goals. You want from your child to be somebody. Why do we treat people with addiction like somebody who cannot develop? Recovery is based on strengths. Thank you.
Thank you, Boro.
Other questions? It was really good presentations, thank you. And I'm really curious, in fact, about Vietnam. I saw the buses with the campaign and the bus stop and the bus, and I wish you tell us how is the society. Are they prejudiced with this campaign, or they accept well? How is it for the society from Vietnam to be in contact with this campaign? Do you understand? Yeah, reception. Yeah. And how do you reach the patients? Is through a clinic? In your case, yes, but in the case of Vivu, how do you reach the patients and tell them to do the brief intervention?
Okay, Irene has to go. So
let me apologize. Thank you all. Nice to meet you, but I have to leave. Have a nice day.
So Quang and Vivu.
Yes, so for me, so I just want to clarify the question first. You mean like how do we provide some kind of campaigns in Vietnam to reach people, or?
I think the question, I might be wrong, I think the question was, one is, yes, how do you reach people or recruit people or engage them?
Yes.
But also, how has the community received this campaign? Maybe issues more of stigma or in the society, or what are their experiences with the campaign?
Okay, so so I would say Vietnam is one-party nation, so we haven't received any kind of approval for gay marriage yet. So of course, in our society, for older generation, stigma and discrimination still exist. And also for the younger generation, they are quite open. to support the LGBT people. So it means like for LGBT community, they are suffering from how to share their issues with their parents, with their family, but they are quite open and also share with their friends. And I would say like in the big city in Vietnam, the acceptance level is much better compared to some, like remote areas in our country. And I would say like during our work in Vietnam, we do a lot of outreach activities and also field work. We also encounter many challenges, like when we come to see people, when we come to share about like addictions and also HIV prevention. So many people, they think like, oh, that is their choice. They want to do that. Why do we need to support them? So it's very obvious from, like some people in the society that they show their, like discrimination to the LGBT community in Vietnam. Yeah, so that's like some perspective from me.
And for the second question, to add how to reach the LGBT population. In our study, we often work with community-based organizations who work directly with and provide some service for LGBT population, like for the gay men, and because they are their community, and they have to reach out of the study participant. Yeah. And it's very popular, especially in the big city like Ho Chi Minh City, where I come from. Yeah.
Any other questions? Of course.
It's for Caroline. You focus like in the nursery profession, nurse profession, right? And how they have to know their own anxiety, and they have to have a good understanding about their anxiety, themselves. I don't know if that's what you mean. And I would like to know, how do you prepare the nurses to know their anxiety, to deal with the anxiety of the patients?
So thank you for the question. I think this is a big challenge. We always talking about the supervision. So always when we start to talk about how to deal with the mental health, how to go to the mental health center, we start with the undergraduation. So during the undergraduation, we made supervisions periodically before to go to the real seminary. So all the time we start to talk with these students, how they receive, how they perceive their own anxiety. So we start to talk about the knowledge about anxiety, what is anxiety, and how I can manage my anxiety. So one day is talking about therapeutic communication. So we have some tools how to do this. We use the simulation scenario as well. So we put the students in a simulation scenario to talk with them, how they have to, how they can talk with the patient, how they can receive the anxiety, because we understand there is a tension. So it's normal when you are near of someone that it has present a high level of anxiety, you feel anxiety as well. So we talk with them about this, and I think it's a step, and the supervision as a professor in the university to talking about this and how to recognize this in your own and with another in the clients that we were attending.
Thank you, Caroline. Any more questions? we have, let's say, 5 minutes if anybody wants to ask anything more. Otherwise, as we're coming to the end of the session, I would like to thank you all for being here and participating. And I would like to say to you to remember that our final event is the beach party, and we are waiting you all there. So have a nice day and see you at the beach.